entire Houston Cyclones fan. This former Cyclone safety defined the Cynado logo era. My name is PJ Cole. Welcome back to Cyclone Kingdom. We made it. The final top 5 all-time list in Cyclone football history. I appreciate you guys sticking through this entire series. Make sure you check it out on our YouTube channel and make sure to like and subscribe for all Chiefs and Cyclones content, because after today, starting next week after the holiday, I hope you have a safe 4th of July. We are getting into season preview season. We are just a mere 60 plus days away from football being back. Can't wait. Can't wait. And these legacy talks are fun because of that, because it reminds us of the beauty of football and the beauty of Cyclone football throughout the decades. No, there hasn't been a lot of great teams outside of the Matt Campbell era, but there has been some iconic characters in Cyclone football history. So again, make sure you check out the whole list of quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, defensive line, defensive tackles, linebackers, corners, and now safeties. The top 5 safeties in Cyclone football history. And by the way, Cyclone Central, our exclusive Iowa State podcast. A little shameless plug for that. If you want to go check that out and like and subscribe over there with me and Owen over at Top Tier Iowa State. We talk all the time about the Cyclones. So appreciate you guys joining on, and let's get into it. The top 5 safeties in Cyclone football history is a great capper on a series that has encapsulated really what Cyclone football has been about through the decades, through the entire history of the program. From times when I wasn't even watching the team in the 60s and 70s to the Dan McCarney era, the Paul Rhodes era, and the Matt Campbell era, and some iconic characters throughout this program. So starting off at number 5 is a guy that I loved watching. I was alive to watch him. He was a part of the Matt Campbell era, and really a guy that I think when you think about the Matt Campbell era, we put a lot of players in this category, but he was one of the guys that when you think about the 2017 team and the guys that brought Cyclone football back and brought Cyclone football to new heights. Number 5 on the list is Greg Eisworth. Greg Eisworth II. What he did in bringing Cyclone football to a level it had never been to before, he was a part of that secondary with, guys like TJ Tampa and guys like, I'm blanking on everybody, but Brian Peavy, guys in those black uniforms. I'm rocking the all black today that really made you realize, man, Cyclone football is not only really cool, but they're good. They're really good. And then that was really fun because Greg Eisworth, similar to Brian Peavy, wasn't a guy that had this great, talent level or was this, crazy athlete, freak athleticism, whatever it was. He was just a no-nonsense guy of just getting after it, putting his nose to the grind, and being a core part of that Cyclone defense. When you think about this whole list of the all-time Cyclones, a lot of the defensive guys are just these core iconic characters that we'll remember for the rest of the time. And some of them are freak athletes like Will McDonald. Some of them are all-world talents like A.J. Klein, Jake Knott. And some of them are the Brian Peavies and the Greg Eisworths that just played up to a level where it's like you can't forget them for the rest of time. So shout out to Greg Eisworth and just being one of my favorite Matt Campbell guys, similar to the rest of these guys. He's number 5 on the list. Number 4 is a guy that when you think about the Cynado logo era, the all-red uniforms, the red helmet with the white face mask, that type of jersey, when you think about a player who rocked that, you think of Nick Moser. Nick Moser during the Dan McCarney era was a bowling ball of a safety. Think about Bo Freeler more recently and the size that he had playing safety as a linebacker pretty much. That's what Nick Moser was. Played from 2001 to 2005 and was just a guy that would rock your world. Whether he was blitzing off the edge, whether he was coming down from his safety position, or whether he was intercepting passes or blowing up receivers across the middle. Nick Moser defined that Cynado era, the Seneca Wallace days and the Brett Meyer days, especially of just being in that Cyclone helmet, in that all-red uniform, and being like, that's our guy. Nick Moser was that. Just a cornbread Iowa type of boy who rocked the Cardinal in gold and was a key centerpiece of that 2002 team that, if not for the fall off, would have been one of the better teams in Cyclone football history, with the Seneca Heisman hype and the run, and the Seneca was in. I mean, that game, like, I might watch some of those games just for the rest of this offseason just to get me hyped up for Cyclone football in 2026. Nick Moser deserves to be on this list because of his ability, because of his size as a safety, and just what he did in a Cyclone uniform. Number 3 on the list, we're going to share my screen to let you guys know about this guy because he played before I was alive, and he deserves some run, and that is Marcus Robertson. Hall of Fame class of 2008 in Iowa State Cyclone history. From California, so a guy coming all the way from the West Coast where I used to live for a few years, and being a Cyclone, I mean, he was unreal. If you just look at some of his notable stats, first team All Big 8. So back during the Big 8 years, he played in trying to see here. I don't think it says what years he played. That's okay. I think he played in the 80s though, the mid 80s. Breakout year was as a junior. 11 passes defended, 89 tackles, playing cornerback. Some people see him as a safety. Another guy on this list, some people see as a cornerback as well, but they played some time at safety, so they're going to be on this list here. And his key stats, I mean, this is going to put you in Cyclone lore just by itself. An interception in a 33-31 win over who? Number 16, Oklahoma. If you beat Oklahoma as an Iowa State Cyclone, and it's a key win in program history, you deserve to be on anybody's list, especially when you have the talent. And he played a lot of years in the NFL. Advanced to the 99 Super Bowl with the Titans. Played for the Oilers, played for the Seahawks. And then he was actually hired as a coach for the Titans. So his track record and his history in a Cyclone uniform is second to none. I mean, just his talent levels, not like the eyes worse than the Peavies, all due respect, but Robertson's talent level was skyrocketed. Like, just his jump out the gym ability, his vertical, the way he was able to defend the pass, and I almost said defend the basketball because he played like a basketball player. He was that athletic. Marcus Robertson, 2008 Hall of Fame class in Iowa State history. Shout out to my guy. Number 2 on the list. Let's bring this back real quick. Number 2 on the list is a guy that people would see him as a corner. Even when we did our top 5 cornerbacks on Cyclone Central, my guy Owen saw him as a corner. I see his stats, and I remember key plays of him as a safety, and that's LaMarcus Hicks. LaMarcus Hicks, the Cyhawk game comes to mind. No, Iowa's not our Super Bowl. No, it's not this game that means more than all the others, but it is still a huge game every season for the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones, and LaMarcus Hicks had a pick 6 in that game. In an era of time that was after Seneca Wallace, and Iowa State was not really that good anymore. They went into Jack Trice Stadium that day and had a pick 6 against the Hawkeyes to get Jack Trice rocking, to continue that streak. I want to say we had the 5-game win streak from 98 to 2003. This pick 6 was in 2005 or 2006. So I'm pretty sure Iowa won one of those games, unfortunately. But LaMarcus Hicks' ability, what he did both at corner and at safety. When you can put a guy in a top 5 list on either one of those positions, you're doing something right. And LaMarcus Hicks was that in and of himself. And so just an amazing athlete as well. Represented the Cyclones really well. I think he had some time in the NFL. Wasn't a crazy long NFL career, but he was the Cyclone secondary. Like, if you think about LaMarcus Hicks, he defined the Cyclone secondary during those Brett Meyer years, towards the end of the Dan McCarney era, unfortunately. But he was a cool player and just carried a swag about him that was second to none. So shout out to LaMarcus Hicks, number 2 on the list, which brings us to number 1, and a guy that we need to give respect where respect is due because he was that good, and that is Barry Hill. Hall of Fame class of 2006. His outstanding accomplishments as a defensive back are virtually untouchable, guys. I mean, what he did from 1972 to 1974 is unheard of. I mean, if you just look at these stats, he was regarded as the best athlete on ISU's campus after he starred in football and basketball in high school. Played in Florida, Delray Beach, spent some time in Florida as well. So my guys Robertson and Hill both reside where I used to live a little bit. But what he did, guys, I mean, picked off 4 passes in 1972. Led Iowa State to a second consecutive bowl appearance. 8 interceptions as a junior. Single season school mark for Iowa State at that point. Like, he passed his own records, guys. When he moved to safety, that's why he's on this list as a senior. Led the Big 8 Conference. Just listen to this. Led the Big 8 Conference and ranked second nationally in interceptions, intercepting 9 passes. It's the record that still stands today, guys. 9 interceptions in one season. They played 12 games. They played 12 games in college football every year, and he picked off 9. That's almost a pick a game. That's ridiculous. First team All Big 8 honors. All-American accolades. Only All-American safety in Cyclone history. 4 interceptions in one game versus Kansas. And earned Big 12 Player of the Week that year. 21 career interceptions. Broke Iowa State's and the Big 8's career interception mark. 21 career picks is still a Cyclone record and stands an incredible 7 picks ahead of the number 2 spot. 157 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries, and is the only Cyclone player to ever play in 4 bowl games in a row. I mean, Barry Hill, standing ovation. Like, just give the guy his respects. You guys probably couldn't see some of that, which is why I read some of it. But a guy in the 70s that played above the bar, above the caliber of what people thought football players could be at that point, and is the greatest safety in Iowa State history. It's not close, guys. All due respect to the guys that have been a part of some great Cyclone teams. Barry Hill caps off the top 5 all-time lists of Iowa State Cyclones. Leave a like and follow. Like and subscribe for more Chiefs and Cyclones content. The season preview is coming up next week. We'll go week by week, position group by position group, having the Phil Steele preview magazine in our hands, walking through with you guys the Big 12 season, the Cyclone season, and what are the expectations for it. So I appreciate you guys more than you know. Continue to subscribe, continue to follow these things, and continue to share these things with your friends. And spread the Cyclone love and the Chiefs love as we get geared up in 60 days, no less, for college football in the NFL season. As always, roll close. And how about those Chiefs?